Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap, I do a little bit more work on the Sentinel steam wagon chain oilers. I make some little brass needle valves, so some machining, some milling, some silver soldering, basically all the little bits and pieces of all I like to do. In part 2 of tonight's nightcap, there's more needle valves, but I also go to a local car boot sale. I haven't been to a car boot sale for quite some time, but it was a really nice, fine afternoon, so I decided to go, and I managed to find it. Well, I'll show you what I managed to find, and the total expenditure was £4. That includes the bag. I'm going to go outside and show this in the garden, not to glue it, just to show you what you can pick up at boot sales. I would think the majority of the stuff that I bought today, if you're going to get given away in me 3 monthly giveaways, there's a limit to how many parallels and how many odds and ends you actually need. I'm not one for just filling boxes and boxes up with decent materials and decent tools. I'd rather share them out. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the little bit video outside. I've spent a bit more time on the oil boxes for the Sentinel steam wagon. I've rounded a lot of the edges off with the weld nails to try and make it look more like a casting. I've changed the way the lade's held on, that's the way it's supposed to be now. Just a little spring under there and a nice little brass knob. I'm up to the point now where I'm going to try and do some pipe work for it. I have got a fillet piece to go in there, but I ran short of aluminium. That's the outlet for the oil. That's actually quarter BSP, a boss that I welded in. These are the taps that the lad supplied to screw into there, and honestly they're alright, but they're not the way it's supposed to be. I've got a drawn here. Right, that's the tap there. It's just a little needle valve and a bit of copper pipe with a little spreader bar on the back. I've got no sanders, but I'm going to use quarter copper pipe for there, so I can sort of scale things up to go from there. So that's what we're going to be making, that valve there, out of brass. Tool to make. I think it'll look a lot better. That's actually the way it was. So that'll be a bit of round brass, machined square. That's obviously quarter BSP. That'll be a solder in connection for the copper pipe. I'll probably use quarter BSF for the thread, nice fine thread, so the oil won't run through it. There's no gland or nothing in there. It's just really thick oil. And a little needle valve to make. Not sure that there, that's the needle valve. All nice, straightforward, simple stuff. Some chain to stop you dropping the needle valve if it should screw it all together. Right, so that's the pipe there, that's quarter pipe, and that looks about twice, so we'll make that a bit 1/2 inch, and we'll probably make that sort of 5/8 square or 15mm square. So we'll do it in metric, we'll make it probably 15mm square. That should look about right. Once I start to machine it and see what it looks like, I can just sort of make it up and go from there. I've got a nice brass bar offcut there, I'm sure I'll be able to get them out of that. The first thing to do is probably put the thread on the end, the quarter BSP thread. As you can see, I've cleaned my lathe off, which is normally the case. Whenever I clean the lathe, I have a bit of brass to machine. I'm going to make the valve round, but I'll be able to screw a fitting onto the quarter BSP thread to mount in the collar block just to mill it square. I'm definitely going to make it square and make it look the way it's supposed to do. So the first thing is to get that down to the size to put some quarter BSP threads on, BSPT actually. I've got a BSP tape, a die there, or a die nut, that'll do the job quite nicely. I'm just going to measure the biggest part of that, because that is quarter BSP taper, and if I just zero the caliper, that's the size I want that turning down to. Quite a bit to come off it. 12mm, 6mm aside. a nice little taper on to allow the die to start easily. You could put power on this and jam the spanner on the apron, but for such a short thread, it's not worth it. Right, so that's quite a decent thread it's put on there. Happy with that. And that's a 1/4 BSP pipe fitting. And it should screw into there and then start to tighten up. Should do. There it is. That'll only get shortened. We don't need all that thread on there. In fact, I might as well shorten it down now. It's any excuse to play with the new parting tool, really. I need to drill a hole through there, and the hole's going to be the size that the port's going to be for you to drip through. I'm using a 1/4 BSF thread, so I think we'll probably use something like 3 or 4 mil. It doesn't need to be a big hole, it's just a slower feed for the oil. We'll put a centre drill in and make a decision then. To say it on 4 mil. The tap and drill is 5.3, so it gives us plenty to play with. We'll drill in deep and we're going to the other side. We're going to have the hole already there. Right, so I said that will be a 1/2 inch. So there's probably 1, 2, 3 of them in there, so I'm going to make that 1.5 inches long. 1.5 inches. That looks like it could be good. Possibly a little bit too long. Doesn't need to be that long. 1.25 inches we're going to go for. Better. Yeah, that'll do, 1.25. Right, so we want some threads in there, but not all the way through, obviously, because of the needle valve. It's going to go all the way through, and that's going to be the actual seat further down into here. 5.3 to tap and drill size for 1/4 BSF. We want to go in for 1 inch or 25 mil. I'm working between metric and period because the nail's metric. 10. It's actually pulling the drill in there. 20, 25 mil. Now I really want it flat base in their flat seat. So I've got a milling cutter that'll go up inside of there and put a nice flat seat in. Right, that's absolutely perfect. That'll put a nice flat bottomed seat into there. I don't know where I got that from, but I'm pleased I got it. Clumsy bastard, John. Right, so we just want to touch this off just to give it a nice flat seat. Just like that. And now we want some threads in there. That's a 1/4 BSP nipple. I'm just going to use that to hold it on the milling machine, and we'll put the flats on. I'll put a cut across there just to clean that face up, not do any harm at all. A little bit piss wobbly as you can see, but it is just a rough fitting. Just so the chuck grips it, that's all. It's actually an iron fitting, that one's soft, malleable iron. Better. Take a cut across here and it'll all be concentric. It's running pretty through anyway, so that's too bad. Collet block's ideal for putting a square on the end of here. I've got a hexi block, so you can put a 6-sided one if you wanted to, but I want 4. So if I measure that, I think I'm going to have them 15mm square. Just take off whatever it wants on each side to make it the 15mm square. So if I zero the vernier, it's 16. Measure it. We've got 9.5, 9.5. So we need to take off half 9.5 off all 4 faces. Right, we'll just touch this off. Zero the Z axis on the DRO and then we'll give it a whirl. Put a 1mm cut on first. It should be no problem, it's just soft brass, and the way it's cutting here, it's going to try and tighten that onto its spigot. I don't want it coming loose. Don't think it will. So that's 1mm. This will be 2.5 altogether. Right, this will be 4mm. 4mm. And we'll turn it and do one more and see what it looks like at that. I think it'll be good. It would probably do that in one cut, but if I try, I know for a fact it'll drive the bastard thing out the chuck. So we'll not even try. We'll do 1.5 as a first cut. Do one more face and we'll get an idea of what it's going to look like when it's actually square. I think it's going to be good. I need to drill a hole to locate that boss there. And the boss is going to be 1/2 inch. So I need a hole in there, probably with an 8mm hole so I can machine a boss that'll fit on there, and then we can solder the quarter pipe into there. I'm sorry people that cannot work in both metric and English. I can. But I can sort of, I can visualise, I can still visualise 1/2 inch better than I can 13mm, it's strange. Right, so find a centre, drill a hole through it, and then we'll make a little boss and solder it on. So if we half that reading, which is easy to do on the DRE, just press half. And went it to 0, and that now is right in the middle of that pipe fitting. You don't normally need cutting fluid on brass, but I'm starting to like this anchor lube. I've got to do a review. The lad sent us a tin out for a tube to review. I've been using it and it is good. If it wasn't good I wouldn't do a review, and it's as simple as that. So we're getting some different materials and having a bit plain. See what we can do. Right, we'll set an 8mm hole in there. This will try and snatch when it drills a hole. So I've locked the quill off and I'm just going to gently use the knee of the milling machine. If you try and pull the quill down my hand, without a doubt it would snatch. Looks like it broke through there. Indeed it just about has. Right. I hope you can see in there where I broke through into the port. You can see the nice round seat in the bottom there. That's what the needle valve sits into.